And we do have a quorum. And I'll lead us in prayer. God, please bless this town and our castle and our upcoming year that we have looking for us before us in the town of Shoshoni and its citizens. Help guide us through our decisions so that we will make the proper decisions for us, our family, and our community. And this I ask in God's name. Amen. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Move we approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll give you a second.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Zant, that we approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? None being, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed the same. Motion approved, all in the affirmative. Next on the agenda is executive session. Can I have a motion to move into executive session?
Make the motion.
Been moved by Councilman Hartke to move into the executive session. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Stetler. Any further discussion?
We need to state the reason.
Oh, did I say real estate?
You did not.
Yeah, we do need to state the reason. Reason for we're going to discuss real estate in the executive session. Any further discussion? None being. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. And I'd like to invite school superintendent Bruce Thorne to read. Yeah, into the executive session with us. Ready, Chris? Yep. A motion to go back into regular session,
I'll make a motion.
moved by Councilman Hartley, go back in regular session, have a second?
Second.
Moved in second, go back in regular session, any further discussion? The second by let's Councilman Stever.
Yeah.
None being all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All the same. Motion passed, open back in the regular session at 7:37. Oath of office, swearing in officer Matt Smith. Did you repeat after me? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
that I have not knowingly violated any law
and have not knowingly violated any law
related to my election or appointment,
related to my election or appointment
or cause it to be done by others,
done by others.
and that I will discharge
Discharge
the duties of my office with fidelity.
the duties in my office with fidelity.
Thank you. You are sworn in.
Thank you.
Congratulations. We're glad to have you.
I'm glad to be back.
Got your picture.
Thanks, sir. It's good to have you
Good to
back.
see you again. Welcome.
Smile, now, give me that. That's
my winter look.
You remember me? Now you. Oh,
Are you taller?
Yeah, I can tell, right?
Consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move we approve the consent agenda.
Been motioned by Councilman Stowe. We approve the consent agenda. Can I have a second?
Second,
And second by Councilman Zent that we approve the consent agenda. Discussion.
we need to amend the minutes. I believe. There's nothing in the minutes about why check number 22307 today's asphalt was pulled. It was simply said, it was pulled. That needs to be put in the minutes. There's nothing in the minutes about Councilman Stiller's motion to have that check. Made a motion to have it approved. Nothing about his motion at all in the minutes.
How would you like it rephrased?
You can say that Councilman Zent questioned the mayor, the paving of the easement between Idaho and California on Third Street. Questioned his authority based upon state statute 9-13-105. Misuse of office. And And you can say a state statute or town ordinance. 13.32. Duties of joining landowners. It's brought up that the joining landowner must take care of the easement. Am I missing anything?
Was this town ordinance brought up during that discussion?
I was not specifically identified. but
Yeah, I didn't believe it
mentioned.
was.
Not, so I went and researched the kind of the exact ordinance, kind of ordinance. 13.32.
I would suggest we keep the minutes as what was stated.
The only reason I ask is, if you remember at the beginning of that. Before we got to the consent agenda, you had brought it up and then we were quiet at the consent agenda, we had to come back to it.
Yes.
That's why I was asking how you wanted to put that. But
So this would go into the minutes, just to correction of the minutes.
Also like to make sure the mayor's response was included.
And what was your response be?
The response was that our director, we had the funding in our budget to do the work. I felt, I deemed that we needed to do the work because of safety for the citizens and for the betterment of the community, for the citizens. I repeated several times that the safety and I believe
And it was brought out as a counter argument saying. What about everybody else in town who? Somebody walks by their property, isn't that a safety issue as well? That was also brought out. And, you know. Why are you?
but that was my
Everyone-
response. We can get on this later. Let's just move on. We'll have your opportunity to talk about this later.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes,
One of the things that you can do is set this aside to be approved next meeting and just have it reviewed. If it's recorded, have the recording reviewed and have the exact minutes put into for the next meeting for approval.
I like
the
that idea.
approval of the minutes,
Yes.
that'll work. Okay.
so we're gonna. Have it
So-
included with have the payment included with the approval.
No.
No,
No payment.
Minutes.
Talking about instead of
No,
approving
we're all-
minutes this meeting, have the minutes reviewed based off the recording and the minutes amended.
So that's A of the consent agenda, B and C. So can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as amended without A. Approval of the minutes, which we will do at our next meeting, to approve the official minutes of the meeting. So B and C. And a motion to approve the consent agenda B and C.
Move we approve consent agenda B and C.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, we approve B and C of the consent agenda. Can I have a second? Can I have a second? No,
I will make a motion to approve item B only. To amend his motion.
okay. I've got a motion on the floor to move consent agenda B. Approve the consent agenda B. Can I have a motion for a second?
I'll second it.
And second, to approve consent agenda B. Approval of the bills December 13th to 23rd, January 9th to 2024. Any further discussion?
Yeah. So check number 22307. I'm not saying that I necessarily agree with everything and that it should just go away. But in my opinion, Director of Public Works called the vendor, ordered a product was delivered, the bill needs to be paid. Now, I think that you pursuing this until you determine, pursue this. Is this right? Is this abuse of power? If not, can't talk to the county attorney. I think that's all proper and your job. And I'm not taking away from that. But what I'm saying is, it's our Director of Public Works ordered product that was delivered, the bill should be paid. And we should continue. You should continue. It's not oh yeah, everything's cool. Forget about it. That's not my position. My position is the bill needs paid.
I agree with you.
So let's pay the bill and you continue.
Let me answer that. One, I believe the mayor overstepped his authority. Now, I also not only talked to the county or town attorney. I was in contact with the sheriff department, Officer Lowe, with the detective. We then in turn talked to, we're getting out of order here. Did we approve?
No, let's continue on exactly what we're doing.
Okay,
So are you making a motion to amend the,
I was doing discussion on the consent agenda.
well,
But on
right
B
now,
or
what we
C?
have,
On B or C?
we'll have approval of B.
we have approval of B, that's my question. Have we approved that?
No, we got to vote on it. We're
Okay.
in discussion.
So B is just approve the bills, but check number 22307 is not in B. It's separate.
Correct. We'll address that. Move forward on this vote. If there's any other discussion on B. None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Both the same. Okay, C, the consent agenda, check number 22307. Can I have a motion to approve?
I move that we approve that bill.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Zant, second by Councilman Stedler, that we pay check number 22307.
Now,
Discussion.
I have spoken with our town attorney, Officer Lowe, as detective from sheriff department. To turn my question over to the undersheriff and to the county attorney. This is what she forwarded back to me. One, that the town owns the easement. And since the town owns the easement, the town has the right to do anything they wish upon that easement. So if the town wants to put benches, sidewalks, trees, in any easement, the town has that physical right. Now, the second part is based upon our ordinance of 13.32, duties adjoining landowners. Anything the town puts in, that landowner is responsible for. Question is, if Fastlane, is Fastlane going to take up that responsibility, taking care of that asphalt? Or is it going to be the town's responsibility saying, hey, you put it there, you take care of it? And what does it say to the rest of the community? You paid the asphalt for Fastlane. Why are you treating them differently than me? I pay my taxes just like they do. You are being unfair. And the other question is, here you are making people take care of an easement, and you're taking care of fast lanes, so you're putting the rest of the community in involuntary servitude. My answer is, the mayor overstepped his boundaries. What he did was legal, what he did was wrong. And therefore, the mayor should pay it for himself, or talk to Fastlane and have them pay it. But I do not think it's the town's responsibility or duty to pay this bill, because what is it set for the future? That's my point of view.
Well, you're welcome to your point of view. And you've stated as much. We, the town of Shoshone, is legally responsible for this bill. The town of Shoshone, I've talked to Dave's Asphalt and told him we was having a discussion. And I told him we would be paying the bill because we're legally obligated to do that. He said, not a problem. The it was ordered by a department head to bring it in. He brought it in. He's innocent by this. This has nothing to do with him. He was ordered, as Jake had said, a service was, he was asked to provide a service. He did. We need to pay this. And that's what we should do. We can discuss the rest of this stuff later, but that should have nothing, zero, nothing to do with the town of Shoshone paying this bill. Has nothing to do with the town of Shoshone paying this bill.
When I talked to our county attorney, he said, we can not pay this bill. We can vote as a governing body and the majority will rule. Now, what will happen after that, he said, one, Dave's Asphalt has the option to take the town to court. Sure. And sue us
And when?
and win. Another question becomes, why did the town do it? Why is the town giving preference to a company? They're not treating everybody the same. Everybody else has to take care of their own easement. Why is that place being treated different? That's not equal under our constitution. You are treating
No,
someone
I felt it was a safety issue. We have even town employees walking down there over uneven line.
With
We
their
got-
sidewalk from here all the way to the fast lane.
But we got people walking straight on down through there. And they do it all the time. We are fixing to get on over a $600,000 project, where we're gonna provide sidewalks all the way to the medical clinic and on the south side of the highway, all the way to the east side park. That's for the betterment of the town. This is for the safety and for the betterment of the town.
Sidewalks
If
already
we
there.
had any idea that this was gonna be as expensive as it was, it would not have happened. But it did, and it is what it is. Yeah, I had no idea. Asphalt, I never asked for asphalt. We asked for some road base to kind of level it off to make it safe to walk on. And that was for our citizens, for people transferring down there, that was for safety, that was a good thing to do as we are improving others for the city. That was my decision that should be done. It wasn't my decision that we spend that much money. But that's, I talked with Dave's Asphalt, the original estimate was, he thought was gonna take 2 to 3 loads. It took, 5 belly dumps and an end dump, 6 loads to do it. And crushed asphalt, it's not a paved crushed asphalt, it's $40 a yard. Road base for Dave's Asphalt was $20 a yard. So it cost considerably more money. Took a bigger chunk out of our budget than one that was anticipated. But it's I think honestly to say that you've been on a vendetta against me and against Bassling for years. So we bind the two together. But it's and he said, well, I operated within my authority to do that, and I did that. And Dave's Asphalt should not be penalized
for that, to force them to take us to the court.
But, I would interject that I feel like his Bob's position is fair, and if we play the safety card, there's more foot traffic at the town post office than probably any. I don't know as a fact, there's lots and lots, and they've approached us twice about doing something, and we gave them zero.
They approach us for anything for safety? No.
Well, call it what you want.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so I stand corrected, and so that being said, if Reagan wants to come back and say, we have a safety, can he expect $8, $9, $10,000 worth of asphalt?
well, that was not the anticipation spending.
Well, it might cost double. We're gonna tell him no.
But he was talking about some beauty,
Some beautification, which
landscaping or
I would
something
assume
out
it would
there.
imply could have, like I said, I'm not here to argue it either.
But I'm just saying that's nothing to do with Dave's asphalt getting paid, and that's what we're talking about right now, is paying Dave's asphalt. Where's my concern on this really? I mean, how many times has Dave's asphalt cut us a deal? And now we're like, man, we don't like the decision the mayor made, so stick it in your ear. That's not right to Dave's asphalt. I'm not saying the whole thing was right, and I'm not agreeing with it, but I'm just saying we gotta pay the bill. Any other vendor with the town, if a department head tells them to do it, they can say, well, maybe the council will vote that down and will not pay for it. So anytime a department head wants to do anything, do you want them to come to council and have that approved before they spend any money? I guess we can do it that way. But
I think that's a good idea.
be hard to get anything done in a timely manner.
Well, you could say anything that's not emergency or scheduled maintenance. Has to be approved by council before. I think that's a great idea, what you just said.
We can address that at the next budget session.
So we'll have Marshall draw something up as an ordinance. So emergencies, normal maintenance. So anything like what just happened across the street would have to be approved prior to doing that. So instead of saying, mayor said, oh, I want to do this because we have the money in the budget. It eliminates that and it gives the council input. Instead of you saying, oh, I'm gonna do this on my own without any input from anybody else. I think you did have a very good idea.
Like I said, we should address that at the next budget.
Next meeting, we have a motion, draft ordinance. Okay.
I think you gotta get through your consent agenda first here.
Okay. So call for the question.
Discussion over, all in favor of approving check number 22-307, Dave's Asphalt, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same.
Aye.
I didn't show hands, I couldn't make out who said aye or not. All in favor of approving check 22-307, say, raise their right hand. Those opposed, raise their right hand. Motion defeated. I think you set a very bad precedent right here. Really just gonna cost disappointed. Anyway. Ordinance 13-8-1. Can you read that,
Ordinance 13-8-1, an ordinance enacting parking restrictions for tractor trailers and other commercial vehicles from parking in the town of Shoshoni on Third Street between Idaho Street and California Street. Whereas the area around Third Street between Idaho Street and California Street has residences. Whereas idling and parking of tractor trailers causes loud noises disrupting the local residences. Be it ordained by the governing body of the town of Shoshone. Section 1, between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. commercial vehicles can park on Third Street between Idaho and California Street. Section 2, commercial vehicles parking on Third Street between Idaho Street and California Street cannot idle their vehicle. Section 3, violation of this act constitutes a misdemeanor violation. The fine for violating this ordinance is a $300 fine. Section 4, it's the ordinance takes effect on the third reading after publication at a public hearing.
Can I have a motion to approve the first reading ordinance 13-8-1?
I move we approve the ordinance.
Been moved by Councilman Stellar. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilwoman Hardkey. All in favor, say aye. Aye, all same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Business license.
This is for Wing It food truck. I'm being here occasionally. I believe they were actually here last week. I think so, after Christmas Day. Over on Fast Things Park.
They said they may do some other events.
Yeah,
Also, they may come to the 3-on-3 basketball tournament and stuff. And other things. A motion to approve that business license.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Harkey, second by Councilman Zant. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed, all affirmative. Building permit, storage shed, Mike Dimick.
building permit on the off of Showbound Road. This is a 40 by 80 storage shed is the listed use, 16-foot tall. With wood posts and steel exterior walls and roof. And a 50-foot setback from Showbound Road. Total 3,200 square foot total floor area.
Get a motion to approve that permit?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Zent, second by Councilwoman Hardkey. Discussion. I have a couple questions. What's the building gonna be used for, Mike?
Storage,
Just storage,
as of right now, yes, it's to put trucks in.
just park trucks? Any other questions? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pulls the same. Motion passed, only affirmative. New business. Parking lot lights. Where are we at with that?
I was on the whiteboard to the discussion item on the agenda, so.
Okay.
I put it there, last council meeting. walked out and it was dark when he walked through that parking lot. You know, and when I talked to Kim, or if I talked to somebody, they said, that was never discussed when they built this building and they updated it. It's not something that we should look into in the future for next year's budget. I doubt we have the budget right now to say, we're having electrician come in and put in lights. We could put in one on the building around the corners, and then if there's jumping down to town hall signage, you could have one on the town hall signage where
That's what
that
I
base
was,
is,
yeah.
but have going to the opposite direction to the parking lot from the corner of Third and Idaho. So, just, something to look at in the future for a future budget and go from there to make the place better.
At least two though, on the two entrances would be good. Or
So you really don't project into the parking lot. If you go really close to the sidewalks and that's about it. Now, once you get past the sidewalks, they're pretty.
right, no, I was saying adding two more.
Oh, yeah.
At least two more on the two sides coming in on east and west as you illuminate the parking lot as well as the entry. Cause that one at night, there's a curb there, and I actually ran it over because I couldn't see. It's a curb.
Okay, I don't know for you, when you walk on this west side, what about over here on the north end?
Yeah,
Do we have anybody parking there or?
not currently. I think once everything's completed, the plan would be that we'd probably try to keep the town personnel more over here than out there.
Okay, so
We're taking up
looking
a
at
lot
it,
of the-
I mean, all the way around the building,
Right.
for a safety issue, looking at, put it in our next year's budget and, plan for it. That's all.
Okay. Moving on to 2024 lease renewals. I don't know where we're at on, the one Jacob Stetler, 60 acres, Garrett Herbst, 80 acres. Weren't we gonna put some verbiage in there, Marshall? The,
Fixing the fence or improving the fences.
yeah, for encouraging the leaseholders to do some upgrades and then look at potentially longer leases than just 1 year to help encourage that.
Yeah, we talked about it and I thought I'd sent a draft, but if I hadn't, I know I drafted one up. I'll make sure I get it.
If you did, I missed it.
I didn't see one.
But I
Yeah,
think,
I think it was a while back. First time it came up would have been probably about, first time it was asked about, I think it was about
It was
4 or 5 months
June or
ago.
July.
Yeah,
last
I
year.
know I drafted something then. I'll double check and get it out, so.
okay.
Yep.
I think we should hold off approving them. Do we have anything else that's probably the only thing I think we need to hold them to out till we get the new contract for that in place. So we have a different option.
Question I had it, I thought Herbst had 2 leases.
He used to, but now it's just 80 acres is long as
Okay.
it was a share on it.
What?
I think his name, or the other guy's name, Cheryl and Dave. Oops. But that was 2 years ago, but right now we just have Garrett and Herbst, is the only other list we have.
Okay,
It was Nancy.
Nancy, sorry, Nancy.
that's one Jake has.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what Jake has now.
Or I thought there was 2 that, cause Garrett was leasing. And maybe I'm confused, I guess.
So the only 2 we have is just the 60 acres and the 80 acres.
Okay,
We split them out or
all right.
do something, make them smaller, but that's the only 2 we've ever had.
No, all right, I wasn't certain, I just. Thought that, I guess.
So can I have a motion to approve the leases with moving number one, Jacob Stetler, approximately 60 acres, and Garrett Herbst approximately 80 acres. So 2 through 7.
Move we
Approve them.
approve 2 through 7.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Councilman Net. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, only affirmative. Budget fund reallocation. Do you want to talk about that, Chris?
I drafted a letter explaining the aspect of it. Not sure, assuming everyone got to read it. With the council packet.
Maybe, yeah.
So in a nutshell, payroll expenses that are obligated for payroll, I can't, repurpose for
Right.
equipment and things without council's approval notification of utilizing it for an unintended purpose. Being that it was part-time officers, like the 2 part-time officers I have, one is medical and he won't be back, and the other one works opposite days, and with the full-time position, those funds are gonna be unused. And with the cost of equipment for the Tahoe, it would be splitting it up instead of using all the strictly out of the vehicle replacement fund by itself. When we have the money in the budget, it's not actually modifying the budget or increasing the budget, it's just using what was allocated. Since we're not gonna use the payroll expenses.
Basically, it's not changing the overall budget, we're just moving,
No,
just moving money around. Within
Police.
the original budget. from-
Police wages into police.
Yes,
yeah,
vehicles.
expenditures.
right. But to do that, that's gotta go in front of the council for approval.
I move that we approve the budget fund reallocation as presented, moving $11,992 out of wages into the vehicle depreciation. Or the vehicle fund, I guess.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Stiller, second by Councilman Hartke, that we approve the budget fund reallocation as presented. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, the same. Motion passed, all the affirmative. Town hall signage.
So I spoke with Jared at Plan One. Couple things, so. Our door that they dinged and we caught later on that has the wrong hardware. They're paying for the replacement of that with gas bars, the hardware, the installation in the door. We're not paying for any of that, as we shouldn't. Number 2, the way that relates is that initially they wanted to have us pay for the door and they would do the town hall signage for free as a trade-off. We deferred on that, said no. So the town hall signage would be about $800 to design the monument sign, as well as the signage around the building. And that's where it would end, and they would recommend a fabrication / construction alternative for us to look at to actually place it, bid it, and install it. They believe they could have by the next council meeting, at least three draft drawings and examples to look at, and about $800 to $1,000 would be the cost of that. And we do have the budget for that in the town hall administration. So it's not a budgetary need for more money in that aspect, but
What about an electric sign like we have?
that's what they're gonna do.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's clarifying a whole bunch.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so the, in that flower pot, it'd be an electrified sign, edge. And they'll come up with 3 different dimensions, examples, and then as well as the signage around the building for, town of Shoshoni, town admin, police department, court, just various aspects. And they said that they'll have that by our next meeting to have a look at and kind of selecting, and that's pretty much where they would stop. They would provide all that dimensions, the schematics and whatnot to whatever company that we chose to install. And they'd give us at least two companies that they've worked with in the past that we could negotiate with or contact, or whoever we wanted on our own if we had somebody else. So there's just providing the drawing schematics for us to choose, and that's it.
Make sure they can put a light on top of it for parking lot.
I think that would make the most sense. It's already electrified, so,
Right, so,
and it's already got plots in there to mount it. Well, I don't think it'd be overly complicated as, putting a whole concrete slab or anything like that, so.
Any other question?
But, yeah, I don't want to proceed with that idea or do something different, but that's what I got for that.
no problem.
Yeah, go ahead. Department head report, police department, 2023 annual report.
So I put together some of our key annual stats from last year, comparing the year prior as well as a 5-year average, and some things to kind of look at. So I did color code for sorry, Mike, my bad.
I got the yellow.
Well, that's why I put yellow in there. So those are all related, obviously, around DUI, alcohol, controlled substance. And it's interesting to note the year-on-year increase, but if you look at the 5-year average, it's a fairly significant increase. And I do believe that's partially due to obviously having fully staffed officers, part of it, as well as the dedication to addressing those issues. And we're going to continue addressing those issues this summer and going into the future, and try. So those numbers will probably go up because we're looking for it. We're trying to make an impact at it, and I think that we are definitely showing results that you put the officers out there with the mission, would make a point of trying to get these people off the road and hopefully impact and save lives. Also on the violence side, domestic, child abuse, and some other types of crimes have seen a market increase as well. I did mark out the ones that are shown a decrease, and a lot of those involve property crimes. So we're seeing a decrease in theft, vandalisms, intoxicated pedestrians. So not so much driving, but walking around town, as well as I think that the school has done a good job with Cody, our SRO, as well as trying to deter tobacco usage at school. That's where a lot of the MIP tobacco is stemmed from. But overall, I think, it shows clear patterns of things that are decreasing, and the things that we're targeting, that we're trying to actively go for, obviously are increasing, but it's not necessarily a metric that it's more prominent. It's just we're getting better at detecting it, better at finding it, and dealing with it. And now that we are fully staffed with Officer Smith, I plan to continue on these aspects because they are vitally important. Because now we're having carfentanil, the first case of carfentanil, if you don't know anything about that. We talk about fentanyl, which is, they say 100 times more potent than morphine. Well, carfentanil is 100 times more potent than fentanyl. And that has made its way to Wyoming. And so I think it's vitally important that we do everything in our power to try and keep that out of our kids' ability to access. Because it's being mixed with every kind of street drug out there. And the more we identify these and the more we push for that, we keep it out of our community. And that is our number one goal. And we're going to continue doing it. And I believe that where we're located, there's obviously a lot of traffic that comes through here, whether it's detouring from I-25 or I-90, I-80, just because of the massive enforcement that goes on there. So it does come through here, and they stop at fast lane, they stop at the rest areas. And obviously with Riverton, and it gets in our community, it's not just Shoshoni, it's Fremont County, which is also why we're doing what we're doing with the whole county, Riverton PD, Lander PD, and the sheriff's office. We're going after it. We are making an impact, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But I do believe our efforts at being visible has had a deterrent effect on a lot of the things that we're seeing a decrease in, just simply by being visible, being out there driving on the streets, sidewalks, alleys. Well, I try not to drive on sidewalks, but I think that has a deterrent effect, just being visible. So, and obviously, being fully staffed, that will continue to be a priority as well. And I also put our 5-year average calls for service is up 64% from our 5-year average. About 16% from last year. And again, a lot of this is self-initiated calls, not necessarily more people calling 911 or calling the police department, but it's that we're finding, detecting, and self-initiating these types of things, which again has a deterrent effect. And obviously I wish they were all zero, but you know, I think that we've done a good job as a police department focusing on these areas, and we'll continue to focus on those core areas because they are vitally important. Questions on the stats or numbers I could?
No, we just asked you not to drive on the sidewalk.
I will try not to drive on the sidewalks. I make no promises though. We only have like 3 of them, so.
I see that we assist the other agencies quite a bit.
And that, with the shortage in RPD as well, which has a domino effect. So, when RPD was short, the sheriff's office was staying more in Riverton area. So that would leave a large swath of the county. And we were the only ones that are staffed. And so we would respond out of Shoshoni, obviously, to calls when somebody needs help outside of Shoshoni in the immediate area, whether it be towards BNK, towards the canyon, or towards Bonita. We're trying to help pick up the slack where we can. When someone's life is in danger, we're going to go.
Right.
We're not going to sit here and wait 30 minutes for the sheriff's office to get here and go. We're just going to go take care of it. And that's part of that MOU that we signed, that expanded that aspect. And that's the goal, is to have more of a footprint, collaborative nature amongst law enforcement, which is unprecedented in the state. that every law enforcement agency in this county is working together with a single unified goal, and we are.
That's unprecedented. Okay.
We're the first. I mean, not Shoshone, but
Right,
the county as a whole.
I understood, yeah.
Fremont County.
And to the tune, that's why the state gave us money as a pilot project
Right.
to show what we can do. And how this working together.
Yeah.
I know it's novel concept, working
Yeah.
together for better results, you
Oh,
know,
geez.
but that's what we're doing.
Anything else for the chief? Any questions? None being, Mike, would you like to give your report, please? Public Works.
Good evening, your high school council members. This start of this new year here, we're gonna have to. We're in the process of beginning our lead and copper inventory. We'll be going to every house and business to see what type of water line goes into each building. This is for the this is for the EPA, because once it's done, we have to submit it to EPA. And we have until October 16th of this year to get this done. So I'll be probably me and Bart will be going to individuals. I'll be coming to you guys' houses and businesses. I need to take some pictures. I'll need to get a lot of information from you that EPA is requesting. And that way we will be stay in compliance with EPA's revised lead and copper rule for this year. I started working on it when I first started here. I had some information that I found in the office that I was in. So I kind of going, got some that's in there, but I don't have all of what I need. Mainly is what's inside your house. We need to figure out whether you have galvanized. And see, I've been looking in these records there to see if there was any lead, but you guys have replaced a lot of the main lines, so those would have been taken out, I'm hoping. I found one person that still has galvanized, so. And if that's upstream of lead, that will cause, you can get lead poison from it, it'll go into you. So, but like I said, I'll have to get into everybody's house and see what's coming out of the ground going into your house in order to get this lead and copper inventory finished up. There's 360 taps, I do believe, or 370, something like that. And I received the final report of the sanitary survey that was done before I got here, May 26, 2021. There is some significant deficiencies on it. There are 5 of them, which we will correct here. I have 6 months to get those corrected. There's a few of them that are simple, but there's a few others that may cost some money. I'd have to bring in a crane. That's the only way to put some gaskets in there, check to see if there's gaskets. Have to pull the whole, everything up out of the well. That's on the deficiency side. One is at well 2 and one is at well 6. Well 6, I can do that one by hand. I just need to go measure the gaskets that got go in there, because we already got that one tore apart. But well 2 and well 4. They're all connected yet. I don't know what's underneath the well caps. There's a well 4 we did plug off a lot of those holes that they had in there. And that was one of the deficiencies, but we had a lot of holes up on top of the roof and on the bottom. We sealed them with that foam, expanding foam. That was, last year when we did that. I didn't know that was a deficiency, so, but I just trying to keep the mice out because there's a lot of mice droppings in there. Inside by the wellheads and that. But that was a deficiency. With the rehab of the well houses, I don't know exactly what they're gonna, what partner is gonna be fixed yet. I haven't heard nothing from HDR. All they've done so far is just, they just did some survey, I think it was. About 3 months ago, they surveyed. So until I know exactly what they're gonna do, then, I can see if I can squeeze some of these in there, if they're gonna move them wells and the piping around. I could move, that way it won't cost us anything. But if they're not gonna move none of that piping around, then it will cost. So, it depends on who I get. It can range from 5 to 10,000, just to lift it up a little bit. To put the gaskets on it. Because some of them, on the outside, they're worn, but like I said, I don't know what's underneath there, how it looks, whether they're still perfect or not. I've tried sticking a piece of paper underneath it around her, and I can't get that paper in there. So I know there's a gasket in there, but I just don't know what how good it is yet. But that's what the survey calls for, the deficiencies to be taken care of. And until I get a good look at them, I don't really know how good they are. And on these PFAS tests that is coming up with all the water systems throughout the United States, we're lucky we don't have to test for them. There was only out of all of the very small systems, only 800 nationally were picked, and we weren't picked. So I verified that with Karen Simpson of EPA today. I called her just to see if I had to order any sample bottles for the PFAS. Because Energy Labs now is qualified, they're certified to do these tests now. Otherwise, we would have to send them out to a different lab. These are kind of expensive tests, these PFAS. I think it's like $950 a test. And that would have been 4. But they test for 29 chemicals plus lithium and metal and that. That's what EPA wants. But like I said, we don't have to. We don't have to do none of that. I got that from EPA today. So we missed that one. We're good there, otherwise that'd have been more simple. Sampling doing that. And for the road out here, I got the signs ordered for the no parking 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I think it was. I
Yes.
talked with Chris with that, but the signs are ordered. The posts are put in. So we're waiting on the signs. That's about all I got. Any questions?
When you do your water line technique, coming to the house,
The inventories?
yeah, will you also check and see how many water meters?
Yeah,
Working?
I'm gonna check the water meter and the
Okay.
inside the house. I've gotten some pictures of what's under the ground already
Okay,
on a few of these that we did last year that were repaired. I have some of that documented already,
so,
but I need to document where the meter's at and where it goes into the house.
and if it's working,
And
I know I've heard talk to some people that said their meter isn't working.
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
yeah, because there's, the EPA wants it from the main line to the house.
okay,
That's, they want all what's underneath in there. For
Yeah,
this
you
lead and
guys-
copper. But, oh, and I'll have to, sample the school. There is no daycare centers here.
one in the school.
Huh?
There's one in the school.
One in the school?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be testing the school anyway. I have to test daycare centers and schools. Along for this inventory. I seen something on that, they were testing something over there. I don't know what it was. I just seen bottles with water in it, it said school. Man, these were real old samples that were just sitting there, so they didn't send them in. Like I said, I don't know what they were testing. Didn't really say on the bottle. But, yeah, I need to be testing those too. I'm trying to get this done by, at least by June or July. So we're gonna be starting probably next week. Going into houses. Figured we can do one day a week, that way it don't hurt what we all have to be doing. Don't get into our way, getting way too much of what we have to do daily. Depending on, if I do maybe 5 or 4 a week, you know, that. Cause I'll have to get that and I'll have to put it all on input it all onto the template. Then I'll send that in, you know. Yeah. Well, we don't have to make that public either because we're under the 3,300 taps. We're under that, we're just at 360. Anybody over 10,000 has to have them made public. You'd have to have it on the web or something. But we're exempt from that too. It's part of EPA's rules, or the revised rule that they did last year in the lead and copper. And that's all I got.
Thank you. Think, should we put that in the next town newsletter thing that Mike was going around checking for these items? Just as public information?
Yeah, pretty easy to do, yeah. Pretty easy to do. Anything else for Mike?
Covered eyes, how's the sewer deal going where the pumps and all that?
It's up and running.
Okay,
We got it up and running. I have 6 pumps running now. There's 8, but Terry will be here tomorrow
okay,
to see if he can get the other 2 going. He took the schematic to see, because there's one purple wire that he doesn't know where it went. He's thinking that might be what's causing those other 2 pumps not to function. And that's that the one side there that it had that valve closed that we noticed. So we know that wasn't running. And Terry will be here tomorrow to get those ones running.
a little bit
Those
of
2.
progress on that then.
Yeah, but it's up and running.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? That's Bob, do you have anything you'd like to talk about on the roundtable?
When?
February 20. I don't have a calendar.
Sorry,
Do
what?
When?
Oh, when?
February 22nd, 3rd, and 4th.
And then I heard a rumor, and so I would bring it out,
Okay,
that town was looking at trying to get a grant to pave the airport.
no,
Okay.
Nope.
I just want to bring it out, so let's start it. Well, I heard it when I went and talked to Dave Maddock, because he's the only one I know who has a plane out there. And he said he would be in favor of having it paved. He said, but it'd be a mile's worth of asphalt.
And the problem with that, is there was a time about 3 years ago where I just doing, grant cursory looking at paving stuff. It's about a 5-year project, because you have to go through the FAA. And you have to go to actually the state of Wyoming and then the FAA, because it's an airport, and so the cost of it, it's multi-millions of dollars. And it would be from the FAA for the grant to do it, and it's just not.
Okay, well, let me finish what happened with Dave then. I talked about, he said, yeah, I'm in favor. of it." He said, but he doesn't know how often it gets graded in the first place. Since I've been on council, I think we've had $500 in the airport budget every year. We haven't spent any of it.
Since I've been here.
And he said, when he applied, funded it twice to get rid of the ammo, if there's any there. And he said, problem with that is that asphalt deteriorates. Cokeville, he flies into Cokeville every now and then. He said they put asphalt on their right of way. And now he said he feels it's worse than it used to be with gravel.
Yeah, because you can't just level it with a grader.
Yeah.
It's,
Now he said it's rugged and it has cracks in it. He said,
Also, if you upgrade an airport, you also, then that requires that you do more fancy, to fence out the animal.
yeah.
The maintenance cost, if you upgrade an airport, there's things you gotta comply with to get the grants. And it costs the town can't afford.
So I just wanted to
No,
double check and say, no, that's a no, so that everybody knows that.
yeah, no,
Okay, that's all I have.
no truth into that rumor. Mike,
No,
Tammy,
I have things about the real estate around town. I've seen all these places being sold all over town, but none of our properties even moved. Are we getting offers and we're not hearing about it?
you're seeing a lot of vacant lots selling?
No, a lot of houses and some vacant lots.
We have, we were concentrating on economic development. And we have talked about maybe getting away from that, but we were concentrating the sale of our, properties as economic development. That was, that's one thing. We've had a couple offers that, as you know, that fell through because of interest rates.
Right.
Do
you think maybe we need to look at a different realtor?
We could.
I just noticed that just nothing's,
I think we just have to put it out for auction so anybody could buy
or
it.
just.
That's how we sold it. One, we put it up for auction.
You had some guy girl say overpay for 3 acres not so long ago.
Yeah,
Don't know who that guy would be.
Or sealed bids or something. I mean, we don't have to take the low bids, but.
no, we don't.
But I mean, I think if that's our goal, because last time we talked, Bob said, let's just hang on to it and see what the market does. And that's where we left it.
Right.
And, and if the shooting complexes lands in Fremont County, it makes our land a lot more valuable here in Fremont County, but, we'll know in March, hopefully by the end of March, we have the 1st of March to get our letter of interest or application in, and hopefully by the end of March, we'll know if we're on the short list. And probably by July or August, we'll know we're in or out. But I'm gonna report on that a little later when I speak, but that was, so I don't know, that's a decision we'd have to make, what we want to do with it.
Has anybody talked to you about it?
To about what?
Town hall, looking at it lately, last 2 months,
Yes,
okay, and nothing's happened with it.
no, but we definitely have some interest. But no one's came with a firm offer. I know we got one person really interested. But I just no one squeezed the trigger. But there's been been some interest. I don't know, like I said, we can readjust our approach on that.
How come none of them have came to council with this?
I don't know. Had people talk to our realtor. But we haven't went past that. I mean,
That's a problem. We don't seem to get past the realtor.
well, there again, we haven't put it up just for sale. We tied it to economic development. So we want to guarantee that someone's not gonna speculate on, someone's not gonna let it sit on it, someone's gonna, and that was our decision. If we decide we want to get away from that model and put it up for sale, we could probably move it a lot faster if that is our goal. You know, that was something, we discussed on our other property, maybe we should sell that, not tie to economic development. Both, the old Shoshoni motel property and the Nunez property, B&B property, and put it up for sale instead of tying it to economic development. We could do that, and if you put it up for bid, to do that, we need to put it up. We could have sealed bids like when we sold the property that Councilman Stetler bought, and the high bid gets it. And there again, we can always reject if we don't like the numbers. But if we do something like that, that would, I'm sure we're gonna get some offers, whether we like them or not, who knows, we may like them a lot. But that would open it up to high bidder gets it, if long as the bid's high enough, and and else we, but that would open up the property to be sold to the highest bidder, whoever that may be. And we could set a minimum on, what we want to do, but we may not promote economic development by doing that. That's the risk. So, but if the council wants to do on that, we can, well, that's the gamble. And
Well, it's just been sitting here now. We're not doing that. I mean,
well, we were finally out of the building.
I'm talking about other ones, not the city council.
Well, we haven't tried to sell we really haven't, but we've been trying to sell that property over there. And it's been tied to economic development. And that makes it, that's a little out of the picture, because as we've had two offers come and presented to the council through the realtor. And I think interest rates is a main culprit why those went down. So, but that's the way we've been trying to sell it. If we want to just auction them off, and we did talk about that, I would suggest maybe we wait till spring to do that. Whether we want to wait to see, maybe by April, we'll have an idea if we're really got a chance of getting if Fremont County has a chance to get the shooting complex, if we're really in the hunt for that. If we're not, springtime is typically a good time to sell. And if we wanted to put it out to the highest bidder, we've already talked about that may be a good way to do, because we're not having any luck with economic development, especially on those two. And if we wanted to do town hall the same way, we could do that, but that is, really a good commercial property. But we could, and hopefully a business that bid and gets it, we'll put a business in there that will help the town. But that's may or may not, but we can do it that way, Tammy.
Just ask good questions.
Yeah, no, and that's a good question, and that's those are, kind of, that's, to me, that's, it's a little harder when we tie it to economic development where they gotta put do
We're
something
just
with it,
standing still and not moving anywhere.
huh?
We're just standing still and not moving anywhere.
You know, that's why we talked about earlier that move those, well, especially those two properties. And put them up to high bid and sell them. Remember, we had that discussion.
Okay, I'm done.
The Jake, have you already?
I think everything's pretty well been covered as far as I know,
Okay.
except for your.
I wanna, okay. I just talked a little bit on the shooting complex, and I explained that, we're having a meeting on that, tomorrow and Friday. It's, we're putting together our proposal, letter of interest to the state for that. It's come along real well. I think we gotta have a real good plan. But there's many other municipalities and stuff applying for it, so probably gonna be tough competition, but we got a great plan. Yeah, they're gonna, like I said, we'll hopefully by the end of March, we'll have a lot better idea on that. Like I said, we're working toward that. I know we're working with the NRA. We have two of our members that's gonna be at the SHOT Show, plus Patrick Edwards, the Wyoming Business Council, is gonna be talking with the NRA out there and looking at assistance. The NRA rep out there is working with the state of Arizona right now on a project, and with federal land involved with it, like we would be doing something very similar. As Patrick or Churchborn, Mr. Churchborn, but anyway, Wind River Visitors Council, we got an upcoming meeting in next month. Nothing new on that. They're putting together their budget. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what is new with that, but I'll give you an update as soon as I know. Code book update. You got anything new on that, Chris?
I haven't heard from Michael Hansen yet, so with the holidays, and I'm not sure if that had a impact on the delay, but I will be reaching out daily and setting up a meeting with myself and the mayor at least to get some answers on what the status, what the timeline is to get this finished before we start getting into the summertime, and get these proposals out to council for what's going to change, so we can start getting feedback, because I'm sure that when that gets there's going to be some things that, as we consider it, that's going to, want to be change or additions or something that we don't want in there that they proposed, and get this thing final and over the finish line, because it's been 6 months, so it needs to get done. And that's for, remind you, that's for the zoning, building regulations and codes, and all those aspects of things that we had discussed about, and changing some of the zoning requirements, or adding and modifying some other zoning that we don't currently have, to ensure that new construction falls in line with that. But we haven't gotten the final. We had one meeting where we touched on the outline of everything, and I think the biggest hangup at the time was going to the new standards on the electric code, and the impact that would cause, since we don't have a building inspector, we don't have a master electrician on staff to be able to do these things, and the costs that would incur if we went to that code. And that's kind of where the group was wanting to implement that into one of the aspects of the building code. Unfortunately, that's all I got right now.
Okay, if have nothing else, anybody else does, Marshall, would you like to address anything? No.
Well, speaking of Marshall, so the trailer and the vehicles, when we track down the landowners, they've been served with notification or in violation. They will be served with a summons for court, and then we can move forward, with abatement. With abatement. I believe you know what trailer I'm talking about, vehicles.
So I have nothing else. If nobody else does, kind of a movement to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Harkey, second by Councilman Stetler to re-adjourn. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion approved, 8:57, meeting's adjourned.